Hard to believe. Yeah, in a lot of ways it just seems like it was yesterday that I was playing, and then in other ways I feel like this has been going on for a long, long time, so it's...
A few weeks before the big night, Steve hit another player, Marcus Naslund, from the Vancouver Canucks. It was a hard but clean hit, but Naslund got hurt and missed games. The Canucks were angry. They wanted payback. On March 8th, 2004, the Avalanche played the Canucks again. Steve was ready, but he didn't know what was coming. Early in the game, he got into one fight, then another. The Vancouver players kept going after him. They wanted revenge. Later in the game, something terrible happened. A big player named Todd Bertuzzi skated up behind Steve and punched him in the head from behind. Then he pulled Steve down to the ice hard. Steve's head hit the ice and he didn't move. Everyone in the arena went quiet.
You know, they talk about players not having respect for players. How about the officials? Should they not have respect for the leading scorer in the league?
Upon further review, this much is clear. Naslund was in a vulnerable...
Steve was badly hurt. His neck was broken in 3 places. He had a concussion. Doctors said he would never play hockey again. Todd Bertuzzi got in big trouble. He was kicked out of the league for a while and had to go to court. He said sorry later, but it was too late. Steve Moore's NHL career was over, just like that. Patrick Roy was a goalie for the Montreal Canadiens. He was a legend. He had already won 2 Stanley Cups. People loved him. But on one night in 1995, everything changed. His team was playing the Detroit Red Wings. Detroit was a very strong team. Patrick was in goal, but his team wasn't helping him. Detroit kept scoring again and again. By the second period, it was 9-1. Patrick was upset. The coach didn't take him out. The fans were booing. Patrick had had enough. He skated off the ice and didn't even look at his coach. He walked straight to the team boss and said, "I've just played my last game with the Canadiens."
Final visit by the Detroit Red Wings to the Montreal Forum, and a night we won't soon forget.
And that was it. 4 days later, he was traded to another team, the Colorado Avalanche. Montreal lost their best player. Patrick went on to win more championships. But that night, his time in Montreal ended forever.
One point I know you were called the most hated man in the NHL, but was that like a badge of honor?
Yeah, I mean, I think...
You worked hard to get that title.
100%.
Sean Avery was a loud and wild player. He played for teams like the New York Rangers and the Dallas Stars. Some fans liked him and some didn't. He was always talking, always getting into fights, but one day he went too far. In 2008, before a big game, Sean talked to reporters. He said something very mean about another player's girlfriend, and he said it on camera. It was not funny. It was rude and made the NHL look bad.
I'm really happy to be back in Calgary. I love Canada. I just wanted to comment on how it's become like a common thing in the NHL for guys to fall in love with my sloppy seconds. I don't know what that's about, but enjoy the game tonight.
Right after he said it, the league suspended him. His own team didn't even want him back. He went to anger classes and tried to come back. But it wasn't the same. Coaches didn't trust him. His teammates didn't want the drama. Just like that, his NHL career started to fall apart. He played a few more games but was sent down to the minor leagues. After that, he left hockey for good. One bad comment, one big mistake, and it cost him everything. Slava Voynov was a defenseman for the Los Angeles Kings. He was young, fast, and had already won the Stanley Cup. He had a bright future. But in 2014, something serious happened.
A judge threatened the wife of suspended LA Kings player Slava Voynov with contempt of court today. KCAL 9's Dave Lopez says it's because she refuses to testify against her husband in a domestic violence case.
One night, he was arrested by police for hurting his wife. It was a domestic violence case. The NHL took it very seriously. He was suspended right away, and he couldn't play while they looked into it. Later, Slava was found guilty in court. He had to go to jail and lost his spot on the Kings. Even though he was a good player, no team wanted the trouble that came with him.
Hello, Slava. How you doing, man? Are you satisfied with the terms of the plea bargain?
He went back to play in Russia, but he never returned to the NHL. His career ended because of what he did off the ice, not during a game, but in one terrible night at home.
Playing Penguin hockey to try to vanquish the Boston Bruins here today, but here's Lucic into the zone. Drops it off, and a high shot sails over the shoulder. Oh, one of the Bruins just got blasted.
Matt Cooke, the hit just as that shot was released.
Matt Cooke was known as a tough guy in the NHL. He hit hard, played rough, and made other players nervous. But one hit made the whole league stop and rethink the rules. In 2010, Cooke hit a player named Mark Savard in the head with his elbow. It was fast and brutal. Savard fell to the ice and didn't get up for a while. He later had big problems with memory and headaches. He never really recovered.
I just finished my check. I felt like it was shoulder on shoulder, but I don't know.
You haven't had a chance to see a replay?
We just got off the ice.
Do you expect any action to be taken?
I don't know. That's not up to me. I mean, it's up to the league.
Surprisingly, Cooke didn't get suspended right away, but fans and experts were angry. People said he was dangerous. After that, the NHL made new rules about hits to the head. Matt Cooke tried to change his style, but his name was already damaged. Teams didn't trust him. His career slowly ended after that. One hit, and it changed both his career and the rules of hockey.
The arrest of Bob Probert on cocaine charges
comes as a tremendous disappointment to the Red Wing. Officials found over 14 grams of cocaine.
I was drunk, and I came across the border.
When you hear it, it's like, no, not again.
He was Mr. Detroit, and it was almost like he can do anything in Detroit and get away with it.
He's the baddest guy on ice, you know.
Bob Probert wasn't just another NHL player. He was a legend among enforcers. He played for the Detroit Red Wings and later the Chicago Blackhawks, becoming one of the most feared and respected fighters in hockey history. Fans admired his fearlessness. Whenever a teammate was in trouble, Bob was there, dropping his gloves, ready to defend them. He brought energy, toughness, and heart to every game.
That was widely used in the NHL. That's pretty scary when you got a guy chasing you around on the ice that's doing cocaine.
But while he was winning fights on the ice, he was losing battles off it. Bob struggled with alcohol and drug problems for most of his career. He was arrested multiple times, suspended by the league, and spent time in rehab. One of the worst moments came in 1989, when he tried to cross the U.S. border with cocaine hidden in his bag. He was caught, arrested, and sent to jail. The NHL suspended him indefinitely. Although he returned to the ice and had some strong seasons afterward, his off-ice troubles never truly went away. The addiction, the stress, and the physical toll of years of fighting began to wear him down. He tried to get help, but the damage was already done. His health declined, and in 2010, while on a boat with his family, Bob suffered a fatal heart attack. He was only 45 years old. Bob Probert was a warrior on the ice, but his greatest fight was one he couldn't win. One night of bad decisions started a downward spiral that followed him for the rest of his life. These players were not all the same. Some were stars, some were role players, some were young, others already legends. But they all had something in common. Their careers changed or ended because of one single night. Some made bad choices. Others were caught in the heat of the game. A few didn't even know it was the last time they'd ever wear an NHL jersey. In a sport as fast and hard as hockey, things can go wrong fast. Fame can disappear, respect can be lost, and sometimes all it takes is one hit, one word, one walk-off to destroy everything. Hockey builds heroes, but one night can break them too.
However, Ivan the Demigod Demidov was exactly as advertised. Absolutely incredible. Scores the goal, lights up the Bell Center. In fact, Brian, one thing that's really impressed me so much about Kent Hughes and Jeff Gorton is their drafting record. A lot of their prospects are turning into high-end players, but it's Demidov that seems like he could truly be the next superstar for the Habs.
This isn't some overhyped draft story or a maybe one day kind of prediction. This is real. This is coming fast. And by the time the 2025-26 NHL season begins, the league may not know what hit it. Ivan Demidov isn't a loud name yet. He's not a North American media favorite. He didn't storm onto ESPN or show up in flashy commercials, but deep inside locker rooms, on scout reports, and between whispered conversations among GMS, his name is being circled over and over. In April 2025, the Montreal Canadiens quietly made one of the biggest moves of the year. They signed a Russian teenager to a 3-year deal and gave him a taste of NHL ice.
The Montreal Canadiens are proud to select Ivan Demidov.
It's an unbelievable moment, you know. I think from childhood, all players dreaming about it. Yeah, and now dreams come true.
Just one game, that's it. But in that single night, Ivan Demidov made something very clear. This isn't a kid who needs time. This is a young gun ready to take over. He scored, he set up a goal, and he did it with that same cold calm he carried all season long in Russia's toughest league, the KHL. Just a few months earlier, Demidov had shattered the KHL's under-20 scoring record, putting up 49 points against men twice his age. He skated like silk, passed with vision, finished like a killer. Opposing teams tried to shut him down and failed again and again. But let's rewind a bit. Back in the 2024 NHL draft, Montreal had the 5th overall pick. The pressure was high. Fans were demanding a franchise face. Analysts were throwing out safer names. And then, the Canadiens shocked everyone. They picked Demidov, a soft-spoken 18-year-old who had barely touched KHL ice and wasn't coming to the NHL right away. People called it risky. Some even called it a mistake. But Montreal didn't flinch, because they saw what most others couldn't. They saw the way he danced through defenders in tight corners. They saw his ability to make something out of nothing, again and again. They saw how smart he was without the puck, how hard he played in the dirty areas, and how fast he learned. And now, the time is almost here. Demidov is expected to play a full NHL season in 2025-26. No more holding back, no more tests, no more waiting. This isn't just some exciting rookie story. This is a coming storm, a league-altering moment. A kid from Russia, built for pressure, raised in the shadows, now ready to walk into the spotlight and burn everything in his path. And if what we saw in one game was just the beginning, then the league better be ready. Because Ivan Demidov isn't just coming. He's coming to shock the NHL. By the time training camp opens in September 2025, all eyes will be on Ivan Demidov. But he won't walk in like a rookie. He'll walk in like a loaded weapon that just hasn't been fired yet. Inside the Canadiens' locker room, players already talk about him differently. Quiet kid, serious face, doesn't say much, but when he gets on the ice, everything changes. It's like watching a painter with a stick, but instead of a canvas, it's chaos. Tight corners, broken plays, bouncing pucks. Demidov doesn't just survive those moments. He hunts them. What makes him dangerous isn't just talent, it's timing. It's the way he slows the game down when everyone else is speeding up. He sees the play 2 steps before it happens, and when it comes, he's already there. Stick down, eyes up, puck in motion, and the goalie already too late. Coaches call that ice vision. Scouts call it generational. Fans just know it when they see it. And when Montreal let him loose in that one NHL game last spring, they saw it. And so did the opponents. 2 points on debut. And he made it look like it was practice. But here's where the story turns. The Canadiens aren't just hoping he becomes something. They're building around him. This offseason, Montreal's front office moved fast. They brought in veteran support on the wings. They added grit to the blue line. They cleared cap space. All of it points to one thing, making room for Demidov to lead. And leading is what he's wired for. He's not flashy on interviews, he doesn't trash talk, but on the ice, he plays like every shift is a message. It's that quiet killer mindset, the one Crosby had early on, the one McDavid still has, the one that tells you this kid isn't here to play around, he's here to win. And if you're in his way, well, don't be. Analysts are already comparing him to names like Pavel Datsyuk and Artemi Panarin, both Russian, both creative, both nearly impossible to read. But Demidov brings something more modern. He's heavier, more physical, and not afraid to crash the net when it counts. October 2025. That's the start. The first full season. And if preseason goes the way insiders expect, Demidov won't be buried on the third line. He'll be handed the keys, power play minutes, top six time, and every chance to light the lamp. And once the puck drops, there's no turning back. Because once this kid gets a rhythm, once the league feels that first flash of brilliance, the game changes. Just like that, shift by shift, goal by goal. This isn't hype, this is a timeline, a warning, a countdown. If the league sleeps on Ivan Demidov this year, they won't sleep for long, because the first time he dangles through a veteran defenseman, the first time he buries a game winner in overtime, the buzz will become a storm. By midseason, the headlines will be everywhere. Is this the Calder favorite? The next Russian phenom? Montreal's redemption story? And it won't just be headlines. It'll be numbers. Goals stacking up. Assists threading through defenders. Power plays that suddenly start clicking. A team that was struggling to find its identity, finally playing with speed, precision, and confidence. Because they have a young star who sees the game differently. The fans at the Bell Center, they'll feel it first. That electricity in the air when Demidov touches the puck. That hush when he circles the zone, eyes scanning like a predator. That roar when the red light flashes behind the net. It's not just about what he does, it's about how he does it. Fast hands, no wasted movement, ice in his veins. The kind of player who doesn't just play the game, he changes it. And make no mistake, the league will notice. Opposing coaches will start planning around him. Veterans will try to rough him up. The hits will get harder. The pressure will build. But this is where the story sharpens. Because Demidov isn't soft. He's not the kind of prospect who folds under contact. He played a full KHL season against hardened men in Russia. He took hits, he gave them back, and he kept producing. What happens when a kid like that gets NHL-level training, NHL teammates, NHL ice time? Simple. He explodes, and if, or rather when, that happens, this isn't just about Montreal having a breakout rookie. This is about Montreal having their next franchise face, their next great hope, their next banner moment. The city is hungry for a new era. The fans are tired of waiting, and now they finally have a name to believe in. Ivan Demidov, just 19 years old, one season in, and already being whispered in the same breath as the league's elite. Not because of where he's been, but because of where he's headed. Because if this season plays out the way the smart people think it will, Demidov won't just make a splash, he'll send shockwaves, the kind that make GMs rethink their scouting. The kind that put fear in defenders' eyes, and the kind that tell you, this isn't just the next big thing, this is the start of something entirely new.
You know, like I was saying, just kind of growing up with a lot of our young guys, and we're just going to keep trying to improve and get better and learn how to win. And that's an exciting time to be in for a franchise. I think when you kind of see some guys come up and make that impact, and I think we're all just kind of looking forward to keep getting better, and obviously trying to win more hockey games.
In just 2 days, the NHL's biggest young star shook up the entire league. Connor Bedard didn't score a goal or break a record. He made one announcement. Connor Bedard's quiet move behind the scenes didn't just open contract talks. It triggered a league-wide shift. The league is already reacting, and every team is watching what Chicago does next with the most-watched teenager in hockey. Connor Bedard is 19 years old. He plays for the Chicago Blackhawks in the NHL.
The Chicago Blackhawks are very proud to select, from the Regina Pats, the Western Hockey League, Connor Bedard.
On July 1st, 2025, something important happened. Connor became allowed to talk about a new deal with his team. This is called a contract extension. That means his team can try to keep him for many more years. His current contract is almost done. He is still on his first NHL deal. It was a 3-year deal that started when he turned 18. That contract is worth $2.85 million. It will end after the 2025-26 season. Now that the calendar has hit July, the Blackhawks can offer him a new deal. And they did. The team's general manager, Kyle Davidson, said the talks are happening. He said, he made his thoughts very clear. He's committed to Chicago and wants to be here long-term, and we obviously want him here long-term, so there's mutual agreement there. This means both Connor and the team want to work together for a long time. Connor Bedard had a very good season in 2024 to 2025. He played in all 82 games. He scored 23 goals and made 44 assists. That's 67 total points. He led the team in scoring, and this was his second year in the NHL. In his first year, he had 61 points in 68 games. He won the Calder Trophy that year. That award goes to the best rookie in the NHL. Connor is also the all-time assist leader for Blackhawks teenagers. He has 83 assists as a teen player. He is the most successful young player on the team. Connor has not missed any games this season. Last season, he missed 14 games because he broke his jaw. This year, he stayed healthy the whole time. He also skipped the World Championships this summer. He chose to stay home and train instead. He said he wants to work on getting stronger and better for the next NHL season. News stories say that Connor's new deal talks are affecting the whole NHL. Other teams are watching. They are now changing the way they plan. They are looking at how much money they give players. They are also changing how long they want to sign players for. One article said, Connor Bedard sparks major league-wide changes as NHL free agency turns into a scramble. That was from the Times of India. It shows that other teams are now moving quickly to sign or keep players. This is because Connor's talks could make other players want more money too. Right now, the NHL salary cap is $88 million. That is the most money a team can spend on all its players. But the league says that the cap will go up. Next season, it may be $95.5 million. It could go up to $113 million by the year 2027. That is why some players are waiting. They want to sign short contracts now.